Now, okay, we've got the same two players now lined up, ready to go for the next game. And I wonder if they've learned any lessons from that. I'd expect to see Custard being a lot more aggressive this game, because I think he was very conscious of how passively he was playing throughout that. He was just grinding against Kiwi's forces pretty much the whole way through.
Yes, I'd be interested to see if how the players mix it up. Well, we're moving across now to Pacific, so a very different style of play that we saw in the previous match. And in actual fact, we should note as well that we're using a slightly modified version of Pacific for this tournament. There is a bug in the official release of Pacific right now, whereby one of the starter islands has 4 metal spots and one of them only has 3. This tournament's using a modified version whereby there's only 3 metal spots on both islands. Thank you to Mott9001 who pointed that out to us.
Yes, thank you for that, Mott, and we've got it fixed, and that means we can go ahead with the tournament as usual, and the players are not going to complain about imbalance.
Yes, so we are now into Game 2 of Match B of the Evil Twins quarter-final round between KillerKiwi and burntcustard. KillerKiwi took the first round after about 25 minutes on Berg, but now into an all-naval game. Well, very heavy on the naval game.
I was going to say all-naval implies that people aren't going to use things like those cheeky underwater docks.
We may see a little of that action on this map. I don't think there's really been a lot of changes to this map over the way it was previously. Possibly the alignment of these metal spots has changed. I'm not entirely sure. I think around the back of the bases, I think this metal layout has changed, but people who've played this more than me can tell me.
I'm sure they can. The last time I saw this map played, I watched Matisse get destroyed by slammer torpedoes because he didn't realise they could go underwater.
I think that's very Matisse, getting caught out in his always every time new patch, getting caught up with what the changes are.
Matisse, if you're watching the stream, remember that is still the case.
I think no one's ever going to forget Matisse in his King of the Planet game against Brad saying, "There are lasers shooting me from space."
What are those? Oh, they can shoot down now. Oh, okay. Yeah, they were changed 3 patches ago, Matisse.
But here we go, both players. We see burntcustard going straight into Navy with some rather aggressive piranha play, clearly going for the raids, and KillerKiwi starting out with bots to take his land and then presumably in docks afterwards. Or in actual fact, he's going to go for the tree economy with his combat fabber.
Oh, delightful. Interesting to note, and important to note, in fact, that docks can't shoot whilst underwater, so that does not make them very good for actual play across the water. However, they will become a very important part of any land-based play on any of the 4 islands on this map. Slammers, however, their bigger brother's slightly different. They have torpedoes, of course.
Yes, the slammer reasonably effective, although in the era of the Barracuda, I haven't been seeing slammers recently. In Navy, in actual fact, leading to more unit changes than you have in any other layer. You tend to have to respond quite well to what your opponent's building. If they go heavy Barracudas, you're going to need to be bringing along more narwhals. If they're going orcas and your narwhals aren't going to be any good anymore, perhaps the Barracudas in the mix. You tend to have to change what your factories are building more in naval than you would when you're playing on land, where bowlers are generally good for anything.
Both players making very good use, as you said earlier, of combat fabricators to get rid of all the trees on their island, which are claimed for metal resource. It gives them a nice little early game boost, and I think they'll then probably see a bit of a rush. I mean, I can imagine both players, if I were in this position, I'm not sure how efficient this would be to stick a pelican, a combat fabricator, a pelican, go grab some trees on the other island.
Oh, Piranha Micro! We have Piranha Micro now joining the Docks Wiggle has now been replaced by the Piranha Wiggle, and burntcustard coming out on top of that fantastic little confrontation, and KillerKiwi making a rather unimpressed face earlier when 2 of his ship fabricators picked off by those piranhas, which has given burntcustard a rather nice early lead.
And that combat fabricator is going to get caught in the firing line. Oh, the micro is real. He almost managed to escape that. The torpedoes, unfortunately, are homing, so wasn't able to escape from that.
We see coming up with a narwhal now to defend his forces against the more cheeky piranha attacks. Still no radar queued up though, so clearly just relying on the fact that he's going to catch him out. Oh, this poor box.
Oh, that was so unlucky. That was so unlucky. They were just he didn't even scout that. He just sent his bomber there. They happened to be passing underneath him as they went through. That was really unlucky for those docks. Taken out by the white docks waiting on that second island there.
Yep, but as we see, burntcustard's coming from the other side as well. Oh dear, Kiwi's going to have to reclaim if he's stuck.
Well, he did build himself into that. I can't be. If you look at where he is, I can't be too sympathetic. When you build power generators on your own head, Custard says, "Wiggle harder."
That man knows about wiggling, as we saw earlier. Oh, a great opportunity to pick off 2 fabbers, just missed there by Custard, probably because he was typing "wiggle harder." So there you go. You see, if you're gonna troll in the chat, then you're gonna miss your snipe opportunities.
Is that commander able to move yet? Is that completely immobilized and having a power gen built on it?
No,
So he's on the move.
He's reclaimed and he's moving.
Okay, I find it very difficult to be too sympathetic to that sort of thing when you do it to yourself. And there we go. We have a combat fabricator being dropped on the main island for tree economy.
Yes, burntcustard making some not falling behind the eco game this time. And
he's done very well on eco today so far.
I think we might see Kiwi setting up that commander. But to be quite honest, I think that early Piranha raid is responsible for this lead.
Absolutely. That Piranha, he did some fantastic plays there against the ship fabricators and against the other naval forces of Killer Kiwi. The wiggle is real.
The wiggle is indeed real. So there you go, everyone. Get your Piranha micro ready to go. New meta incoming. Now we see now that Kiwi moving himself onto the central island as well, coming up with narwhals. It's going to be shutting this down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that fabricator did not stand a chance. The combat fabricator is, in fact, you can see Kiwi's put his own combat fabricator on there, but he has less health. So if it comes down to a battle of reclaim, Custard's fabricator, I think, will have the advantage here.
I think that narwhal will come round to try and defend against this. Oh no! I don't think they know. I don't think either player knows.
Here we go. The reclaim. Yes.
And another mighty victory for burntcustard. Put your unimpressed face on, Kiwi.
Custard has actually been very, very good so far at getting the right micro in the right place, aside from when trying to troll his opponent through the chat.
What on earth is with this docks patrol? That you have a greater insight into the mind of Custard. You tell me. Around Custard's base, he is just patrolling his docks. I guess. Why use radar?
I guess it's a form of radar. It doesn't cost any energy, of course, which is an economic reason for doing so.
I'm not quite sure. I guess he's decided there's nothing to raid with the docks, so he's going to patrol with them. Yes, I admit I'm.
Well, he will get notifications when they die, of course. So maybe he's just keeping an eye on the notifications. Kiwi now moving into the central island here and taking out the patrolling docks one by one.
Have we seen the level of trolling that is happening on the central island by Custard? He is mining the metal spots. he is mining the metal spots. That is amazing.
That is absolutely delightful. Wow. Okay. I mean, he could take the eco for himself, but he's only got combat fabricators there which can't build metal extractors, so he's just marking them. So he's calling Bagsy on it. He's calling, I got here first, and then Nicky Nana.
Both players keeping pretty even in terms of units, but
those docks.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Kiwi running a little behind in the air game here.
And looking at the eco, Custard is running away with this eco. I mean, Kiwi's about to build 6 metal extractors on this island over here, which will help to bring him back up into the same sort of plane as Custard. But he's been behind for a while now.
Yeah, I think he's been behind almost since the game started. Custard making a much better start here, making some rather aggressive play with his piranhas, which was nice to see. I think a lot of players underestimate the usefulness of the piranha. Even at the top levels, you don't always see them used, but they are an amazing early raiding force. They don't have much use after the first few minutes of the game, but until then, they are absolutely fabulous. I didn't know about the micro. That was new.
The micro is a new. You saw it here first, folks. We should call it the Evil Twins Wiggle.
Well, I think so. The Evil Twins
to do that. These narwhals here have done a very good job. These narwhals here have done a very good job of shutting down one of Kiwi's expanding fabricators. So Kiwi is having a tough time getting onto this far side of this planet. Custard has got a very, very dominant position here. All of these metal extractors are sat here with orange things on top of them. Kiwi just doesn't really have much of an answer to it.
Well, seeing a slight mistake with the orcas here, though, because both Custard and Kiwi went straight at each other with their orcas, but the orcas, like the Leviathan, are best used broadside because they won't bring the rear guns to bear unless they're going sideways. Otherwise, only one set of guns fires, and you're losing half of their firepower.
Which is very unfortunate, and that torpedo launcher, I think, really pushed that conversation in Kiwi's favour there. They weren't able to take that out quickly enough. They had to finish off the ships first. That poor Doc's just got taken out by a torpedo there. And now we have another little confrontation, which I think Kiwi's going to come out on top of, sheerly through numbers. Again, you're seeing only the single turret firing off the Orca.
But I do think that Kiwi is very much responding at the moment to Burnt Custard. Burnt Custard is everywhere right now.
He's in command.
I thought making out. Oh yeah, so Kiwi abandoning this position here, driven off again.
Wisely. But those shots nearly getting through and taking out that fabricator on the retreat as well. Because don't forget they are physics-based. Sorry,
you've got to be very careful if you let people lock these areas down with torpedo launchers. Like you say, torpedo launchers very effective, and it can be quite hard to dislodge them once they've been put down until you've got a critical mass of ships.
We now see some good little raiding coming in here. Narwhal's going to clean up this island, get rid of all of those metal extractors, and Kiwi's going to go back down into the doldrums as far as Zico is concerned.
No, absolutely. I think the island spots are far more vulnerable. If you can take the ones on the sea, I think that's much better. Torpedo launchers are better at defending them. You can't get raided by docks. The ones on the islands are rather desperate last measure.
Look what's happening now. Look what's happening. He's just... Oh, you missed it, I think, by maybe a few seconds. He just built a metal extractor on the island and it got blown up instantly by the fact there was a mine on there. Now docks come in to try and clean up, and Custard is building
the docks
more.
on patrol and shooting the metal extractor and not the plane. Oh, but he's got that plane over, so he's fine. Very, very risky using air fabbers on this map because air is always such a part of the map that the air fabbers usually don't last very long, even with protection.
But now some docks about to hit that mine. Oh, that was unlucky. And these are probably going to continue going through this island, running across mines as they go. Oh, bang. I think Kiwi's realised what Custard has done here. He's just sending the docks here to try and take out the minefield so we can actually expand onto the island.
Well, that combat fab is down, so no more mines, but it's just slow losing a few docks. But to be quite honest, probably a good use of the docks. I don't think those docks aren't going to be seeing much use otherwise in this game right now. There's so many ships around. There's such an air force that I don't think they're going to be part of the game.
Kiwi's commander is horribly exposed there. I'm not quite sure I like that. The Custard's ships could have really gone in there and had a bit of a dig at him, but they decided not to for whatever reason.
Well, you could only put the narwhals to bear. The orcas wouldn't have been able to have any effect on that commander, and
no.
The commander's torpedo launcher is really quite effective. Narwhals are not the best.
Sorry, I'll swig my drink. So those docks still stationary on the central island. Custard's island. They got a ring around it with mines once more. Custard's a big fan of these mines I've seen so far.
Well, the combat fabric can be very versatile in this map, and to be quite honest, once you've claimed all the trees, it's still good to get use out of it.
Absolutely.
And Custard really is taking a rather convincing lead now, both in economy and armies. He's starting to advance with torpedo launchers across the ocean side of the planet. Kiwi is really starting to look in trouble. I mean, Custard is everywhere.
Yeah, really, Kiwi's on the back foot on every single front here. In fact, if you sort of imagine the Custard sort of sweeping around the planet and just sort of pulling Kiwi back into the pinpoint that is his starting island, his commander retreating towards it as well as we speak. Custard tries to take control of this island here, but I'm not sure that's going to last very long. No,
that's not going to happen. And Kiwi now getting rather desperate. You see, he's moving with the commander on that island. I think, to claim it, which is usually that's a move you do when you just can't hold any ground against your opponent.
Custard has got a number of bombers, not a large number, but a number. Not really enough for a snipe. Really, what I would expect to see at some point, all of his naval forces are on the other side of the planet. Perhaps they are now moving towards Kiwi's main base. They're not sort of strafing around it and not really sure where they're going. But again, all of Kiwi's expansions just being absolutely decimated by these naval forces. He's not able to get enough eco to answer any of what Custard's bringing to bear. And again, I've not seen any waste at all from Custard's metal economy so far this game. He's been using every single ounce that he's been able to pull out of the ground. Because he's been that far ahead in the lead, ahead of Kiwi, I think it's just going to slowly lead to a significant snowballing effect.
No, absolutely. I think we're just seeing Custard. He's just taking the map. He's slowly putting the pinch on Kiwi. Kiwi's trying to do some attack around the back of Custard's base, but that's not going to get too far before it gets shut down. And indeed, we see Custard now starting to throw some Barracudas into the mix because of the number of orcas that Kiwi's bringing to bear. Those orcas having absolutely no defense against Barracudas. Indeed, if I was Custard, I'd withdraw the narwhals and orcas completely. Just let the Barracudas go forward and take out that entire force.
At this stage, Custard has got units to lose. Let's face it. And Kiwi's commander is terribly, terribly exposed on that island with this force. Oh, in fact, it's so exposed. In fact, I think his delete key accidentally brushed against it and popped it.
Yeah, I think Custard was looking for the snipe. Though you see all his fighters waiting to global patrol, very much looking to find that commander and just end this game. And Kiwi really just never recovered from that very first raid.
He knew what was happening there, and that was very, very, very good play from Custard on that. We've seen the strength of the Barracudas, and the early game unit is not the Barracuda, is it? That's I forgot the name of the unit now. What is it?
What, the Barracuda?
No,
the narwhal.
Is it? No, the
Barracuda is the sub, the narwhal is the frigate, and the orca is the.
No, the other one.
Which one are you trying to think of?
The one which you wiggled. The
Piranha.
That's the Piranha, is it? Oh,
professional casting, folks.
Yes,
these people know the game.
Oh, my fish knowledge isn't that good.
Yeah, I think unfortunately, I think from that game, unfortunately, P8 has crashed, so I can't go through Chronicam on that. But to be quite honest,
that's unfortunate.
It feels like it was one that was just over from the early stage.
That initial raid put Kiwi on the back foot. It was his game to try and recover from. He wasn't able to recover, and that means we are now 1 for 1 in this best of 3.